Hello guys, and welcome to Season 2 of the Penny Podcast. I'm Andrés, I'm in 12th grade, and I'm the Coppell Student Media Web Producer. If this is your first time tuning in, the Penny Podcast is a weekly podcast that incorporates interview, conversational, and communal elements. This week, our CSM highlight goes to Nico Reyes for his piece, Y'alls, the missing piece in the English language, published under our opinion section. His piece opens with, reading William Shakespeare's work is a different type of pain. It is not the quick cut of a guillotine. It is a dagger struck in one side. It is a pain that cuts deeper with every stanza, a pain that keeps one breathing and bedridden but locked away from the serenity of death. Without spark notes, the Rosetta Stone of Old English, there would be no way to decipher his words. To read the rest of Nico's piece, head over to coppellstudentmedia.com. This week on One Shot, Sony's Playstation 5 is set to arrive next year just in time for 2020's holiday season. The much anticipated follow-up to the PS4 will feature a redesigned controller with haptic feedback akin to the Nintendo Switch's HD Rumble and an SSD for storing media. I am personally very excited for the PlayStation 5 as I own a PlayStation 4. I don't use it that often, but with the addition of stuff like the SSD, I feel like just booting it up to play a game will be much faster than as to having a hard disk drive. So I'm very excited for that. Now, on to the main show. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Nick Pranske. I'm in 12th grade. I'm a senior, and I'm the executive copy and design editor here on Sidekick.
Describe your position on staff.
As copy and design editor, it's right there in the name. Copy is just all the words pretty much that we publish. So I'm editing stories constantly, helping people correct and anything from tiny grammar mistakes to main picture stuff in the story. And then design, that's page design for the print issues. We have 6 every year. So I'll do the center spread, I'll do the front page, and I'll help out here and there with the other designers on staff with their regular pages.
When you get into the newsroom, what is it that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Usually I'll get in there, check all my Google Drive folders for edits, go through those for about probably 30 minutes, and then when it comes time to publish the issues, or like the weeks prior to publishing the issues, I'm constantly busy with page design, planning out pages, editing pages, designing the actual pages, and then in any time when I'm not editing or designing, as an executive editor, the advisor, Mr. Wofford, likes to kind of plan stuff out with me and the other executive editors, discuss stuff that we do on staff, discuss stories, any issues we might have. It's a very busy class period for me.
No free time, right?
Yeah.
For how long have you been designing pages for the Sidekick?
I started out sophomore year. I don't think I designed any actual pages sophomore year. As part of our application to become an editor, we had to design like a sample page that didn't get published. We just had to show that we knew how to design pages. So I did that. Obviously it wasn't a great design. It was my first time, but then all throughout last year I designed pages, and here I am this year.
Awesome. How do you go about deciding what looks good on a page and what doesn't?
For me, I would say the main thing that looks good on a page is visuals. Like when you open up a paper, you don't want to see just a page of words. You want to see pictures, you want to see emotions, and infographics. People love information. So we really strive to do that, especially this year. I'm putting an emphasis on that, making the visuals the main thing on the page.
Makes sense. What are some qualities only found on stellar page designs?
Oh, man. A big thing is attention to detail, especially for high school publications where we're still amateurs at design. a lot of people overlook aligning their words and their columns and making sure everything's consistent, like all the fonts are the same size and stuff. And then beyond just the detail, the stellar page designs, like what brings it from good to stellar is going to be those visuals and how you play with them on the page. So you got to make sure each visual corresponds with the story perfectly, and it's integrated into the design, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Would you say that achieving a high level of attention to detail is hard?
I've always been detail oriented, so for me, I don't think it's hard. I just think the main thing that goes into it is time, like looking at your page, looking through each and every little pixel to make sure everything's right. It's definitely not hard, just I think people overlook it because they think it's easy.
Makes sense. With the first issue of The Psychic out, what are your thoughts on it, design and even content-wise?
Design-wise, I really like it. I think this year compared to last year, our page designers stepped up. We have a lot of returning page designers, so that they're experienced enough to know what looks good or stellar on a page. So I think we did a pretty good job design-wise. And then content, it all feeds into the same thing. Like content was good too. I think we've stepped up from last year. But this being the first issue of the year, I think we definitely have room to improve. Bigger visuals, better pictures. There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to in these next issues that I think we can improve on.
Good. In layman's terms, explain to me your process for designing the front cover of The Psychic's latest issue. So,
the front cover, if y'all aren't looking at it as I'm speaking, which I'm assuming you're not, it's a picture of two horseshoes overlapping to try to look like the Coppell logo, and then there's like red painted on the horseshoes, which I did. So I suppose that was the first step of designing, getting the props for the picture. So in the picture there are the horseshoes, then there's this rope, and barely in the back, faded out, there's cowboy boots. And so I was kind of looking for that Western feel, but the red of Coppell High School. So like, I got the boots, they're my dad's boots, I borrowed them. Bought the rope and bought the horseshoes. We had the paint at home, so I spent about an hour painting on the paint as like accent marks on the horseshoes, laid it out, and then Charlotte, our visual media editor, took the picture. Great picture. I love what she did. And then I took that red that we painted on the horseshoe, and in InDesign, the Adobe InDesign, the program we use to design our pages, I like color matched the red of the horseshoe to the Sidekick logo and the side panel that we have, and different elements on the page, so it all kind of ties in together with the same color. And then the rest of it was pretty basic. There's the headline of the story on center spread, the Sidekick logo, and then a couple of teasers for stories inside the paper. But after the picture, it was pretty easy.
Yeah. So everything was kind of molded around the image.
Absolutely.
Special thanks to our guest, Nick. Thank you all for joining us in the 24th episode of the Penny Podcast. Links to the material I mentioned today can be found below. See y'all next week.